You are your daily habits. Your daily habits create you. I'm Robert Doman, and normally I make GB Studio videos, but today we're going to do a weekend chill video, and we're going to talk about how if you put 30 minutes into your dream every day, that would be so many hours in a year. It would add up to about 7.5 full days, no sleep, so that's a fortnight if you sleep, of full uninterrupted working on your project. And I reckon that's enough to get it done, especially since in this imaginary thing of 30 minutes a day, you're taking 23.5 hours rest between each time you work to reflect upon what you did and what you might want to do. And I need to emphasize that working isn't just head down, if you're a writer, writing. It's not coding if you're a coder. It's everything that goes into it. So, for example, research. You know how important research is? It's about finding the inspiration and examples of things that people have done before you to understand where you could start. So you're not just blindly working from the world and not feeling overwhelmed. You don't want to be overwhelmed when you start a project. So research, find your inspirations, and also planning. You need to be setting this time correctly, right? If you figure out what the final end piece looks like and then work backwards and then figure out, is it worth your time? How much time do I need? And then scheduling it and hitting milestones along the way so you can make sure you're up to date and you're keeping up to what you wanted, so it doesn't keep getting pushed till tomorrow. Don't leave your dreams for tomorrow. Start today. Do it today, right? And obviously, there's only 24 hours in a day, so you can't do everything. Especially if you have a full-time job, I know how difficult it can be to find that half an hour to just put it in. But you need to also remove the things from your life that you don't want to be doing. So do you want to be scrolling on your phone? Do you want to be watching TV? Do you want to be driving to work? Do you want to instead take the bus so you have this free time on the bus to listen to music and to write things down, There's many different ways, or like if you get a lift from a coworker, So then, I don't know. This is a silly idea, really. But this is the fun of this weekend video, is that all my silly thoughts get to stay in the video. And talking of that, I released a GB Studio tutorial video this week, like I said I'd do last Sunday. And it was quite unedited, and that actually was really good for me because it didn't mean I wasted 4 hours of editing. I only spent maybe an hour editing. And I think this means that I can actually do this. If I over-edit my videos, I can't keep up with life. It's just too much work. So by reducing the quality ever so slightly, I hope you guys don't notice or don't mind, then I'm actually able to do everything more, and I can actually make more videos for you guys. So I think this is a positive thing overall. And I feel like this is what YouTube is for. It's YouTube, it's us, it's me. And it's very human to be rough and like this, conversational. And I'm just glad that I'm not an AI voice on an AI image with a mouth that moves. Meow, meow, meow. That would be sad. I'm actually a human being. I'm a real person. Believe that. Wow. Anyway, back to how your daily habits maketh the man, maketh you. You are your daily habits. Last year, I made one game idea every day, and I made a video about it maybe not halfway into the year, maybe a quarter of the way in. And I talked about how I'd repeated a lot of ideas and a lot of themes. And by the end of the year, maybe 3/4 of the way through, that's when I stopped adding ideas. I forgot. And then I would go back and I'd come up with 7 or 8 ideas every week and then write them down. And it was a lot of work to come up with new ideas, and I kind of got lazy, to be honest. And I feel like a problem with that was that I didn't give myself the time to do it. Another habit I had was my diary, and I'd actually write it underneath my diary entry, the game idea. So if at the end of the day, I would write my diary, and then based on those things I've had, those thoughts and feelings and experiences I had throughout the day, I'd try and write a game idea that was inspired by that, because I had nothing else to go off of, really. I'd already exhausted every other thing that I would see around me in my daily life by that time, or by day 200 or something, right? And so it got very hard, and I kind of stopped caring because I already had 200 ideas in my spreadsheet. Another thing, a problem with it, was that I started writing, for example, what would the name be, and what was the genre, and I would start elaborating these game ideas in this spreadsheet, and that added a lot of time. Like, that would add maybe 5 minutes minimum to each game idea to come up with. I was scoring it on things like, how well could I do it on my own? Do I see a vision for it? All this stuff, I was overthinking each tiny little game idea, when really some of them were maybe not worth putting that effort into. So that as well slowed me down and added friction to the experience that I didn't need. And so if I was to change it and go and do it this year, I would maybe come up with less ideas. So, for example, 2 ideas a week. That sounds more manageable. That's 100 ideas a year. That's still quite a lot. And really what I need to do is reflect upon all of those those last year's game ideas, and I don't know, boil them down, put them into chunks, like all of the car games, all of the Solarpunk themed games, all the World War II themed games, and see what kind of worlds I'm creating, and maybe think more about the setting and the characters and the world and the experiences of the people, rather than the games, because games come down to my experience, my time, and the game engine I'm using, and the world isn't limited by all that stuff. You could write a world with just words in a book, or you could sketch it and have little paintings or drawings of the world, or do a comic and mix the two, or you can animate it and make an animation, or film it and make a film, or give the player choice and make it a game, right? And the world, it all comes from the world. And you can make abstract games too, but I found that I wasn't coming up with abstract games in this game idea a day thing. I came up with maybe 2 or 3, some more abstract than the others. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about going forward. But scheduling, I just like I said, I wrote my diary every day. By the end of the year, I have this daily planner that I was going to sell on Amazon, like I did with my game development sketchbook, but I decided not to because it's not quite good enough, and I'm only using certain parts of it, so it's a bit of a waste to have everyone else use it, and it's very big, and I would make it smaller, like I said in my last week one. But by scheduling, I broke everything down into half-an-hour time slots, right? And I was thinking in half-an-hour time slots, and I've been doing that for maybe 4 months now, and I feel like it's been really good for me. I feel like scheduling, what time I wake up the day before, and making sure that I have everything I need to do done the night before, so that it's not going to be done in the morning, so then the next day is frictionless, and I can start working without having to worry about all these little daily tasks that I could have just done yesterday, because you often find you have more time in the evening. Sometimes, some people don't, but I feel like you could always push your bedtime back, wake up and feel worse maybe, or try and get up in the morning earlier. It's all about you, and I feel like it's easier to just do it while you're awake. If you could do it today, do it today. Don't leave it for tomorrow's you, because you're gonna annoy that version of you, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, scheduling my work time, scheduling time for yourself, scheduling time to relax, scheduling time to do nothing. And you're allowed to go on your phone and doom scroll, right? Apparently, not focusing is actually helps the focus time. But obviously, don't overdo it. Don't overdo anything, really. It's all about life is a balance game. And the last one, time for dreams. Just like I said, 30 minutes a day for your dream project. It's not that much. Could be a lot, but it's not. And just making sure that you actually do understand why you want your dream, and to make sure that you give it to yourself every day. Keep that dream alive, and you'll slowly make steps towards it. Take it seriously. Don't write maybe a little to-do list and then never touch it, right? Put in the time to, even if it's something, just do it. Don't hold back, do it. And yeah, my last thing is oil pastels. I want to get into oil pastels again. So I've bought some oil pastels and some A6 card, and maybe I'll do a little oil pasteling drawing a day. And it's 10 minutes, so I'll thank you very much for watching. I'll put my patrons up on the screen, and I'll see you next Sunday. And maybe see you next week for another video. We'll see. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.